everyone, welcome to another Bflycrochet video. Today I will talk to you about what's in my project bag. For sure there is some yarn, some needle or crochet, but I also keep this a pouch like that. It's not necessarily this one, but this is a pouch that I keep with all my notion in there and with all my essentials. So I'll talk to you about each of my essentials that I do have in each project. So when I have a project bag, I have a notion pouch, and in there's all my essentials. So let's begin with the first one. For sure, I do keep all my tags. So this is the pouch that I took off my shawlography shawl from Stephen West. So I do have all the tags for my yarn, so I know exactly what yarn I have and what die number they are, what everything they are. So I do have my my tags for my yarn. After that, I do have a tape measure. So I do keep a tape measure, even though I don't need to measure my work, but just in case I need to have it. So I do use some retractable one, or I could have some basic sewing tape that I can use, but I do always keep a tape measure just in case. The other thing that I do have just in case, and it's not, I don't need it in every project, but I do keep one in every, it's a stitch counter. So those are my favorite because they have a lock button in the bottom of them, so that when I'm using them, I can just click. I don't have to mark something, because at first I use a pen and a paper, and one time the pen just bleed in my pouch, so I don't want that anymore. So I use that, those counter, and I just click and it count, and then I can roll back to 0 when I'm done. Okay, 9, and then I do have it. And the lock button, why I prefer those one is because if I lock them, I do lock them when I just put them and put my project aside, because in that time I cannot click and I will keep my measure, my count, my row count exactly how it does. I do also have a ring count, row counter. So there's a little mark here, and you just roll them. So you just roll to change the number. I do have it bigger than my finger size, because I prefer to have it in my thumb. And since I have pretty big thumb, I just can watch easily doing my work, and I can see easily how I did. So I do often use those stitch counter. I do also have some that are just that you can hang on your neck, but I don't like those. I do prefer, those are my favorite one. And I forgot to say, I will try to link everything that I'm talking about in the description bar down below, so that you can find it really easily. Next thing, a pair of scissors. So it could be like those one, like sewing one, or it could be just small scissors. Those I also use. I just grab a pair of scissors. I have so many. I just grab a pair of scissors and put it in this little pouch. I also do always keep a small hook. This is a 2.5 millimeters. Why? Because first I'm using a fingering weight, so I do have a crochet hook that is like that. If it's just in case I do drop a stitch, I can easily grab my stitch and bring it back on my needles with a crochet hook. I prefer crochet hook than using the needles. So I do always have a small crochet hook in my Notion pouch. I also always have some Notion. So this is a little pouch from, oops, it's upside down, from Double Dutch. So it's just a little pouch to put your Notion in there so they all stay in the same place. I do use these, or I can also use a tackle box. So it's a small one that I do use, and in there is few. Here there's some needles. I have some open stitch marker when I'm crocheting. I have also some closed one. I have two kinds, so it can be that one, or those are in plastic. And some light bulb stitch marker. So I have all, and I keep them. I don't put it back in my container. It stays in there, and I can just grab this and I know I have everything. So it depends on my project bag, and if my Notion pouch is small like this one, I won't put this in this one because it's too big for this little pouch. So that's why I use those one. So in there I have a little darning needles. So it's tapestry needles that I do have in each of my project. And I also have a closed ring marker because for my shawlography I just need one, so that's why I just have one. For those pouch I have two of those, and I do when I will be finished with my project, I will just grab everything, put it back in their place, and I will make it when I need for another project. I will make it back. The other thing that I do always have is stitch stoppers. So those are from Camphor yarn. Those are my favorite. I do have them. I have like 4 sets of them, and I'm just buying those every time that I do an order at Camphor yarn. I just put some in my cart. It's $3 Canadian. It's really, and they are the best. Seriously, they don't fall off your needles and everything. So when I'm done with my work, I just put those on tip of my needles and I will put it back so I don't lose any stitch while the project is sitting there waiting for me to continue it. And the last thing that I do have, always have, it's some lip balm. I know it's not normal for to have a lip balm in your Notion pouch, but I do have those because I always have dry lips, and I'm always putting back some Notion, some lip balm like that. I always have it on hand because if I don't have a lip balm on hand, I will freak out and I will just need to have it. So I do have this. This is EF lip balm. I don't know if no, there's too much of a glare. Sorry. So this one is a chamomile. I really like those. I have too many lip balm, but I do have every time, and that is all there is in this little pouch. So there's a lot of things, but those are my essentials. I do keep those in every bag. Like I've said, I have one in every single bag I do home. So each my project, I have this little pouch and I put it back in my project because when I'm moving, you know, I always bring a project with me when I'm on the go. So when I'm working, I have a project with me, and I don't want it to say, oh, I forgot to put my Notion pouch in that, because when I first start crocheting, I did have only one pouch, and I was moving it from project to project, and at one time I was at work and I didn't have any notions, so I was stuck there, could not knit. I think it was crochet at that time. I could not crochet, so I decided to just buy some little pouch like that and put them in every single project. So I hope that this was useful. If you would like to write down below what is your essential, if you're crocheting or knitting. I do keep all of that. Even though I'm crocheting or knitting, I do have this pouch like that with all of this in every single one of them. So I hope this was useful, and if you have any comment, please leave them in the description bar down below. And while you are there, if you want to subscribe, I will really appreciate it. So until next time, happy crocheting or knitting. Bye.